All right.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. Welcome to week 4 of Success Trail. And this week we're going to be talking about track your treasure and money management.
I'll give a reminder. Just a reminder, make sure that you are updating with your director each different success trail that you've been doing in your booklet, because we do have this necklace when you do complete all of them, but how you earn that is by having a conversation with your director on the trails. It's not just automatic.
Oh, yes.
We need to know what you're gaining from this for your business
Yes.
so that you can earn that prize. And it's a really nice necklace.
Yeah. Thanks, Jamie. Good reminder.
Yeah. And then we had a question of who did the homework from last week. So we had the follow the footsteps. So there's the income producing activities, there's a bubble sheet. We talked even about week 3 with week 2 with the time management. So how'd everybody do on that?
I had 2 parties on Saturday, and then I've got 3 more bookings.
Awesome. So have you been doing your bubble sheet, Amber?
Yeah, I have, but writing it on a different paper because I want to save this one as like a copy, and I ran out of ink. So I am
Well,
doing it.
you can do that. Sometimes if you need something else to look at, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're filling in, you're tracking. The point is you're tracking. Right. And I know Jean told us she was also doing that. So Jean, can you come up and share so they can see your face?
In your bubble sheet?
Yep. Yeah. Especially the way you're doing it is really cool.
Yes.
So we'll scooch over so she doesn't trip on a cord.
Yes. It up a little bit.
Do you want to start?
Okay, I'm fine. Okay. This is my bubble sheet, and it's most of the way filled out. As you can tell, there's different colors, and I write the date and the color of the pen that I'm doing, and then I check it off. And I just put like people's first name, and on the top it says, leave a message, talk to someone, or booked. Over here, put ask, because I'm tracking how many times am I starting the conversations and how many times am I saying, hey, would you like to get together with me for a facial or hold a party? So I want to make certain that I'm tracking those 2 key points, because sometimes we look and we hold a conversation with a person, but we never invite them to book with us. So
tell us your results of that so far.
how many did I say?
37.
Okay, so I talked with 37 people, and I had 4 people book with me. Pretty sure 4. There's only 3 colored in, but I know that there was a 4th person here. And I've had 5 sales.
And also,
So
did
Jean,
some of those bookings come to that messenger party you just?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Can you tell them about the messenger party you just?
My director put together a messenger party that I could invite people to on Thursday, and I had 3 people actually attend. I had 3 people invited to it. I know for a fact 2 of them attended. I'm not certain if the 3rd one, I have not followed up because she didn't comment in the group, but that doesn't mean that she wasn't looking at it. But yeah, and out of that messenger party, there 2 of those sales happened.
You said it was like 200.
Yeah, I was like, well, if you count Jason, because we were talking when my other son was there, so it was like it was like a $280 party.
Okay. And you also said you had team members on it.
Yes, I had 2 team members, and they were reminded of the product that they had available to them on their in their own personal, where they could get the 50% discount and stuff. So they popped on and they actually ordered.
And what did that do for your?
They became active again, which bumped me up to Red Jacket.
So look at her working full circle.
Yeah. Thanks, Jean. Well, and then next, Amber, do you want to share a little bit about your bubble sheet and what you're doing and your success on Saturday?
Yeah. So I've been talking a lot with people from like my church and whatnot, because I don't really know a whole lot of other people here, but I was asking them to help me, see 30 people, and then I ended up having two hostesses kind of combine their party, and so I had on Saturday I had 8 people for the first party, and that was $20 in sales, and two people talked. I talked to 2 people about the opportunity. Um, well, I've been following up with them on that, and then in the evening I had um, kind of like a tween, more of like an actual class type thing, like teaching them to use skincare, because they were 10 and 11 and were using things that 10 and 11-year-olds have no reason to be using. So I'm glad I got to do that. But and then it actually, when I was done with those girls, then so it was my friend, the girls were her granddaughter and her granddaughter's friend. Well, as soon as I was done with those girls, she was like, she had a friend come over, and her friend was like, "Oh, I love skincare. Can we do that?" I was like, "Yep, sure." So we kind of, and so from the first party, I got 3. Oh, so I guess I have 4 bookings. I'm a liar. So I got 3 bookings from the first party, and then the second one, I got their second appointment booked for that. So that was really good on
And what were
Saturday.
your total sales then for your 2 parties?
It was 700 and something. I don't have it right in front of me. It was a little over
Awesome. Yeah, I think you said 746 when we talked. So
7.
congratulations.
That's a nice day.
Yeah.
And
Very
then
interesting.
tracking, I still kind of have, until I can make copies of the stuff from the Success Trail stuff, I have been using the tracking sheets that we had in the Glow Getter guide.
Yep.
I know
Those are correct.
they're not like dated really. It just says the year, so I just crossed off the year. But so like Perfect Track, and there I had that there was that IPA tracker from the Boss unit thing. So that
Yep.
was in that. And
Yeah. Well,
you
now
know,
you can run out and get ink so you can print everything.
I had to, I
Yeah.
had to still, I got some money. And then I actually, um, I did a more like, because I feel like it helps me to kind of have it everywhere. So I have tracking on my goal poster that I just redid, and then for the new year. And then I also have just a faces and interviews tracking on my whiteboard calendar, just to kind of have it in multiple places, because I've, got ADHD. So if I keep it everywhere all the time, it'll help.
You got to put your goal in front of you. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. So we're going to get
Yes.
started. Yeah.
Great
Congratulations.
results, guys.
Yeah. So we're going to get,
You need me to work the mouse?
sure, go ahead. You work the mouse.
I don't even usually
Or you can use that too.
I'll be reminded of the mouse.
Where are we?
Here?
Yes, I believe that's it.
Okay.
No, I don't want that. There it is. There
That tab.
That tab. And I had it all set up on number 3. So, oh, no, but then it moved, huh? So you gotta keep going, that's two. Maybe that's,
There we go. Track the treasure.
and then make this bigger. Yep. Present. Okay, you talk, I'll push one. Okay, track your treasure. Everybody ready? Okay. So money management. So if I asked you right now how much profit you made last month, would you know? No? Okay. Everybody in the room is saying no.
But for
Guilty.
good reason.
Yeah. So, all right. So thank you for being honest. Have you ever wondered where your Mary Kay money went? Felt like you worked hard but didn't profit much? Avoided looking at your numbers? Set goals without knowing what it would take to hit them? Anybody feel like that? Raise your hand. Wondered where your Mary Kay money went? Okay, you felt like you worked hard, but you didn't profit much.
Yeah, I've done
Okay. Avoiding looking at your numbers. I think we're all probably kind of guilty of that. And setting goals without knowing what it would take to hit them. So you're not bad with money. You just may not have had a plan yet. And that's what we're going to be talking about, is having a plan. So sales versus profit. So the amount of your sales is not the same as profit. Okay. You've got to get, that's critical. Sales is actually the money that you've collected. And then your profit is what remains after expenses. So you have to be true to yourself here on these numbers, because if you skew your numbers, your profit is not going to, it's not going to be right. And you're going to be back to that last slide and not know what your number is. So successful business owners know both numbers. You need to know what your sales are, what the money is that you collected. Okay. And take off your discount, your tax, and then the profit is actually what remains after your expenses. Okay. Now, these are 3 habits of financially strong consultants. Number 1, you want to track your income. Number 2, you want to track your expenses. And number 3, you want to separate your business money. So I know I'm talking kind of fast here, but these are 3 habits that you need to get into place. And directors that are on, anybody wants to chime in, just let me know. Whatever, raise your hand. But you have to track your income. If you don't track your income, it's like, if you have another job or if you worked someplace else, you knew exactly how much that paycheck was going to be every 2 weeks, right? So it's no different than being a business owner. If you don't track your income, how are you going to know what you're making and what bills you can pay? I mean, a track number, that's just ridiculous. It's just like throwing spaghetti against a wall and hoping it's going to stick. Same thing with your expenses, and tracking them. And I've know that this happens a lot, but waiting till December of every single year to track your expenses for the entire year is a disaster. It is truly a disaster. And doing your taxes at the end of the year for an independent beauty consultant should not be stressful. And you can talk to your director about having your system in place, okay? All right. So tracking your income. This is where it's going to get tracked, as your weekly accomplishment sheet. That is truly essential for knowing exactly how much you profit at an appointment. It does all the math for you. All you have to do is fill it out. Your director loves to get these, and we get an email every time a consultant submits their weekly accomplishment sheet, and then we can work with you and see where we can answer any questions that you have, because you can actually select choices that you might need help with. So the weekly accomplishment sheet is not for us, it's for you. Okay. So if you haven't started doing this was never available to me when I started my business 27 years ago. I had to fill this out on paper and send it to my director. It didn't do the math for me. Nothing. I had to fill out the whole thing, the old-fashioned way, with pen and paper. And I had a whole bunch of them by the end of the year. All right, so track every expense. You've got to find a method that works for you, okay? Whether it's envelopes, having 12 envelopes, or envelopes of the expenses, maybe having an envelope that says postage, one that says supplies, one that says travel food, one that says seminars, an accordion file folder, or QuickBooks, okay? QuickBooks is a business system, the computer system that you can track your income and expenses in. So, and it's a paid.
Yeah, you do to pay.
You do have to pay for it. So, use what's free with Mary Kay. You want to slide that up?
Did you have a question, Jean?
Yeah. And
I was gonna say that there is a section on, if you have Google, you can go into Google Sheets. There is a little section. It does it by monthly. It doesn't detailedly break the sheets down, but it's a combination of it was put together by QuickBooks to
Okay.
go into Google Sheets
oh, okay.
for tracking the expenses.
Yeah.
And your drive?
Yes,
Okay.
And your
And your
Google
Drive.
Google Drive.
under the sheets.
Okay.
There's all the green section. Otherwise, Excel.
Excel, yeah.
Okay,
And
Excel.
if you're good with Excel, you can do an Excel spreadsheet.
Mhm.
Be on top of this every single month, you guys. I just can't stress that enough. And you want to put 10% of your profits towards your business expenses. That's just the rule of thumb, 10%. And if you're spending more than 10% on your expenses, then you need to have a talk with your director, because something needs to be fixed.
Yeah, you're gonna start embezzling from your business.
Right.
And that puts you out of business.
Correct.
So is the
Correct.
10% thing then, is that different? Is that part of the, because I thought it was like 60-40 kind of a deal. So
It is 60-40.
Yeah, well,
So when you do your 60, 50% of that goes to your inventory. And then the 10 of that 60 is for expenses.
for expenses.
okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you're building your inventory and need a little bit of that 10% to build it, that would be an expense.
Okay,
Be building your inventory.
okay.
Okay.
I just want to clarify because
Yeah. Okay, I want everybody to ask yourself, is this expense helping me book, sell, or recruit? Okay. Don't go to the dollar store and buy every little foo-foo thing that you can find, every organizer, every, just cutesy little thing at the dollar store or the 5 and under or whatever. You don't need it. You need your appointment book and your customer profiles, and that's it. So really, truly ask yourself, is this expense going to help your business? Because I think we get into the habit of buying things that we don't really need for our business. I
Judy,
truly
can I
do.
jump in?
Yes.
This is another reason why you budget. When you're budgeting, you have a dollar that is assigned. In fact, every dollar should have a job each month. And so if it's not in the budget, you can't get it. But if it is in the budget, then you can. And if you need something that's not in the budget, then you can work harder, because we have instant ATM machines with our inventory.
Correct.
So I don't know what the next screen is, but budgeting would allow you to figure out that also, as if the expense, something that you can give yourself permission to do.
Right. Okay. Separating your business money. Again, this is huge. A proper business owner never mixes personal and business money. If money mixes together, your oops.
Okay. I don't know how to do this.
Right here, greens, yours, screen sharing. There we go.
We can still see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you could?
we couldn't. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, we could.
Oh, got it.
Okay, so if you mix your money together, your profits are going to disappear. Okay, you can't. I was taught early, right away at the beginning of my business, to have a separate checking account for my Mary Kay business, and I have a separate account for my expenses. Because you can't mix it with your personal checking account. You can't do that. Because
Although
number
it's also-
one,
It's also
Pardon me?
it's also known as an embezzlement if you do.
absolutely. You can't, I've been audited by the IRS twice, never had a problem as an independent business owner. It was just the luck of the draw. I did nothing wrong, but that was one thing that he was very, very adamant about, and appreciated that I had a separate checking account where I could show every single bill that I had paid, every single expense. Of course, this was back in the day where there wasn't all these apps or whatever. But, if you mix it with you commingle it with your household income, your inventory money is going to disappear. You don't know what you have to spend on inventory. And then your expenses become confusing when you start commingling with your personal expenses and then your business expenses. We were running 2 farms. That was another whole disaster. We had to have that completely separate. So if you're not separating your business money, this is the time to start, and it's not too late. Okay. This training session, it's not about saying you're doing something, really, really bad. It's just to help you get your ducks in a row for the future. Okay. Okay. So again, opening a separate checking account for your business. Now I know all accounts have debit cards, except my bank still doesn't. But all payments should be deposited into that account, into your checking account. Now, does everybody have checking accounts? Is that what
Business
a business
for the
checking?
small business.
Yeah, small, but it doesn't, you should not go into the bank and tell them that you want a quote unquote business account. It just needs to be a separate account, because then it gets really mucky and they think you need a federal ID number and everything else, but you don't. It just needs to be a separate
Personal checking
account. So everything that you receive, your cash, your Venmo, PayPal, your MyShop orders, any checks that you receive, they all need to go into that checking account. And then you pay yourself like a CEO. Okay. Have regularly scheduled paydays to keep the books clean. So mine is every other Friday. That's just the way that I have always done it. Pick a day that works best for you. Maybe it's every other Monday. I mean, if you want to do it every Monday, that's fine too. I just don't have time to do that.
Yeah. So people call it Money Mondays
Monday, Mondays, yeah.
and Financial Fridays.
Yes. Yes.
And I do the 1st and the 15th. That's when we also get our commissions in as directors, but that's also when my husband gets paid too for his job. So then we see what our profit is together.
Sure.
In our bank account to make our family budget.
That makes sense. Okay. So in your workbook, a tracked number grows. So you will have this sheet with a thermometer. And so the following sheets are actually calculated based on an active status. Okay, so does everybody know what an active status is? Okay, like you're in A1, A2, A3. You've had 225 cumulative wholesale orders in a month. So your monthly financial goals should be written down each month. Okay. How much do you want to make in your business each month? And then what are you saving for? Is there something special that you're saving for? Are you, do you want to do something fun this summer, with family? Do you just want to, for me, I want to take, spend time with my grandchildren and take them for day trips because they're too much work to take for the whole weekend. So I'm choosing day trips. But then you need to figure out what you need to profit. Okay. And, then your retail goal. So your projected breakdown then is, and like it says in here again, this is for an active consultant. So 100% retail. What is that going to be? What are you going to sell for the month? Mary Kay, I said a perfect week is a $300 week, but that depends on what your goal is. You're an independent business owner. You get to decide what your goal is going to be. Maybe you have some expenses coming up that you need to save for that are going to be hitting the bank. And then you take, your 50% wholesale, and then 10% is for Section 2 materials and your supplies, and then your 40% profit. So it's very, very easy. And I think we complicate it because we don't know what we want to profit in our business. I think that's the biggest hurdle that a lot of consultants run into. Okay. And you've got a thermometer right there. You can track what your retail sales are for the month. And we all love to fill in and color, right? Mm-hmm. And then, your why for the month. Your why is going to change every month. Most people do. Mm-hmm. It does. What is your reason? I mean, for me now, as a new homeowner, we have real estate taxes that are due because we have no debt on our homes. So I know some people pay their real estate taxes out of with their mortgage. We don't do that. We don't have to, we don't have a mortgage. So that's something that that I budgeted for. And I knew, like in the last 3 to 4 months, I wanted to make a little extra money to make sure that we had enough to cover the real estate taxes. So that was my why. So anybody want to share? Anybody got a why for the month of July? We have a whole week left, 5 days. What do you want to accomplish yet this month? Anybody have a why?
400 for fuel to go down to seminar.
Oh, 400. Okay. Jean said 400 for fuel to go to seminar. Because they're driving. They're all driving.
Nice.
That's a nice why. That's a perfect goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mine is money for pictures. We got
yes.
senior pictures, senior banners, all those fun things this year.
Yes.
That are a pretty penny besides just the regular school picture.
I know. I'm so glad my boys only had their senior pictures and not all these flags
The
or
banners.
the banners. Yes. Oh my gosh. The banners that hang in the school, the yard banners, and then grandparents have to get a banner and
What?
yeah, get a
I know
flag.
nothing.
They don't have a banner.
No, I know. It's just paid. Well, they can if they want.
Really?
Mhm. No, I don't know. Maybe it's just our school
Those
district.
signs that go in your yard.
Yeah.
I've seen for
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen-
this is like a banner, like you hang it on the
Oh,
wall.
no, I'm talking about the school, the yard.
Yeah. Yard
The
sign.
yard
Yeah,
sign.
we don't have that yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so no guessing required. So you want to break your profit down. Do you want to break your profit down even further? Estimate the amount of faces/parties you will need to reach your goal. And you should know what your average is per face. And that is the magic number profit sheet that's in your booklet too.
If you do your weekly accomplishment regularly, In Touch will tell you what your average is.
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing, Amber.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Not
So-
the average is the Mary Kay average says it's like 80 per person. That's like the general rule of thumb. I looked it up.
Okay,
Oh, 80 per person, $80 per person.
nice.
And that's really increased because it used to be, I think, 50, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Directors
It was like
or 60.
Yeah.
All right. So, when you know what your profit is that you want, then you're going to know what your sales need to be and the number of faces you need to that you need to see. And in the workbook here, it says they put down $75 per face as average. So you're very close. And then the number of parties you need to hold, new faces, is an average of 4 people. Okay. And the number of parties you need to book, parties you needed times 2. Okay. Because the number of appointments that you need to book, on average, half of the appointments will hold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only half.
Mm-hmm.
Because this business is a numbers game. It's not get it out of your head and your heart and just do the numbers and everything else will fall into place. So 1/3 of warm leads, which is bookings from bookings, past hostesses, your contact list, people you have personally met and have a relationship with, 1/3 of them will turn into a warm booking call. So you have to decide how many number of appointments you need and take that times 3 for your warm booking calls that will be needed. And I thought this was really interesting. 1/7 of cold leads actually book. So that number is higher. And why?
No, that's less.
1/7 of cold leads.
Yeah,
That is less than a third. Yes, it is. Because that's going to be your fishbowls, your referrals, honoring businesswomen, Rose promotions. So again, the number of appointments you need, and then you need to take that times 7.
So we need to do more work on that one.
Right. Yep. The cold leads obviously always need more work.
More numbers.
More numbers. Yeah. And then the number of booking calls needed per week, you want to divide your warm booking calls needed or your cold booking calls needed by 4, depending on where your leads are coming from. Okay. And that's going to give you the number of booking calls that you need per week. And the number of hours spent booking calls per week needed, you need to take that, you need to divide that by 15. So on average, you can make 15 booking calls an hour. Did you know that? 15 an hour. That's a lot.
This is good math.
And it's very good
I'm like
math.
geeking out.
It is. Because you don't have to think, the math is done for you.
It's not magical, it's mathematical.
It is mathematical. So how many power hours are you going to set aside for booking this month and every month, even this week or in the last week of July? Looking at your weekly plan sheet that we talked about 2 weeks ago, did you see the pockets of time that you actually truly have to do a power booking? And then exact times I will lead generate to support these calls. So what are the times that you're actually going to work? Now, Jamie was just sharing downstairs, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. is income producing activity time. So you don't want to be doing the laundry or the dishes or anything like that until after 9 p.m., especially with summer now. And I don't know, did the daylight savings time thing go through? Are we are we getting away from that?
I think so.
I think
so.
Yeah. So we're not gonna have daylight savings time anymore. So do you know what that means? I don't have to worry about changing the clocks in my house anymore on all my smart appliances.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm not a fan of it being still super bright out at 9 p.m. It's very hard to get kids to bed when they can still see the light peeking through their blackout curtains. Mom,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where you need to have them in that bounce house all day. So how will I generate leads this month? You need to have 5 sources that you're going to generate leads. By referrals, by warm chattering,
Lead box,
lead boxes, roses, doing a restaurant promotion.
vendor booths.
Yep, vendor booths,
Yeah.
referrals. Okay. Any questions on that, you guys? And this is make a number of copies of this. There's 2 in your booklet, so you can get going on this, even like I said, for the month of July yet, because we still have a lot of month left. Remember the game is always won in the last quarter, and that's where we're at, the last quarter.
The second one is different.
Oh,
It's the texture that converts you to food.
Oh, yes, it is. Booking appointment. Okay. Okay, so booking calls. I apologize. So, oh, yep, there it says right up there. And booking texts. So that is the second page in your booklet. So again, the numbers are still the same. But new faces. So with this booking text, your average is $35 per face. So that really
Wow.
is a lot less, you guys. And gals want to get together. And I've shared in the Pink Studio, I had 2 faces and it was $1,200 in sales. They want to get together and they want to try the product. So you have to get away from hiding behind your phone. So the number of appointments that you need to book, new faces needed, you take that number times 2. Again, half of the appointments are going to hold. We know that. That's kind of cemented in. And the number of booking texts needed, the number of appointments that you need to book, you take that times 3, because 1/3 of interacting members will book. Only 1/3. And then the number of booking texts needed per week, you have to divide that booking text needed by 4. And then the number of hours spent sending booking text per week, needed per week, you need to divide that by 40, because on average, you can send 40 booking texts an hour. Did you know that?
Wow.
40 booking texts an hour. Now, myself personally, I don't want to waste my time sending, doing booking texts. I want to talk to the person, I want to book them, and I want to go on. I know everybody's different. If texting and booking for a party is your game, that's great. If it works to do it virtually, that's wonderful. But it's going to take a lot more work to get the results. And again, just remember, this is a numbers business. Okay. Oh, went too far.
Click tapping.
Yeah. Okay, so here's your money management challenge. So everybody get your pens out. So for the next 7 days, I want you to choose one of these. Okay, fill out your magic number sheet completely.
Set one realistic monthly profit goal.
And write down your why somewhere visible. Put it on a sticky note, put it in the bathroom, put it somewhere where you're going to see it all the time. Put it on your kitchen cupboard, on your coffee pot. But we would like you to share, which next week with us, which one of the money management challenge you did. And we'll leave this up for a minute. You can write those down. Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I missed
here.
something.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I think there's a why part of
Oh,
this.
there, yes, yes.
Okay.
So your why matters. This is huge because it's very hard to get motivated to work if you don't know what your why is. Okay.
Helps you get out of bed.
Yep. Every day. Yes. Helps you get out of bed. Paying off debt, school clothes. That's coming up. Right? That's coming. Vacations. That's coming. Helping family. I have some elderly family members that it's very, very sad. She's 88 years old and she has run out of her retirement and her Social Security is not enough to live on. And my sister and I are supplementing her income every single month because she can't make ends meet on her Social Security. And it's a joy that we have that I'm able to do that. The flexibility. Oh my gosh, there's nothing like it. After 27 years, the flexibility that comes with owning your own business is irreplaceable. Staying home more. Okay, we had 108-degree heat index today. I didn't want to go outside. And this is a great time to find people inside right now. Nobody is going outside.
Just like a blizzard.
Yep, just like a blizzard. Yep. Thanks, Roxanne. And your confidence. Okay, is it building your confidence? So your why is going to help you stay consistent when motivation fades. That's why you need to keep your why in front of you all the time. And your why is going to change. I think for me, mine's been the flexibility for a long time. Okay. All right.
Back to the challenge.
Now we're back to the challenge. Okay. So does anybody have any questions or directors that are on? Anything you want to add? We'll look at the comments here too. And
I think you covered everything really good. Thank you.
yeah.
Ooh, AC went out in my car, $1,000 to fix.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. I hear you there, Brooke. You can do it. So yeah, you can figure out what you need to sell to make that $1,000 profit. $1,500 for road trip in September.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Love that goal, Amber.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're going to be excited to hear what your why is going to be, or what task you're going to be completing this week. Okay. And be sure and reach out to your director because we need to work with you and to know how things are going in the past weeks. Okay. Any questions here in the room? Okay. Anybody else?
I have a question about last week.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a question about last week.
The monthly IPA tracking sheet.
Mhm.
For
Do you want to come up here and ask? Because you might answer somebody else's question. They might also have that same question, but they will hear you better.
And we'll scoot. Yeah, be careful the cords. I just didn't feel like point underneath the table.
So the monthly IPA tracking sheet, so like attend unit meeting and you get different points for everything. So I guess my question is, do you track it for the entire month of July? So you
Yes.
get a point for every meeting, 3 for every party you hold. So what are, like that week 1, and it's got the bubbles. What do
Yep, so you would put in,
there?
if you attended your unit meeting,
Mhm.
in week 1, you put an A in that first circle.
So you put 1.
Yep, no, you put A.
Oh, 8, okay. Not the
Yeah.
number that you achieved.
I think you would,
doing it. You know what I mean?
well, you would add up all your A's. You could add up all your A's. You can do it either way.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay. Yes, I do the number, then I
Yeah.
have to look for it.
Go
Okay,
back to what she's doing.
so it's for the whole month,
Correct.
keep track of
Yep.
each week.
Each week. Yep.
Okay, okay,
You write the month at the top. It shows, it shows the month.
Yes, with the month at the top.
okay. All right, that's,
Okay.
not sure.
And then it has the hearts at the bottom
Yeah.
for your booking attempts.
There it is.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
So something I would like to add on to that, Sheila, that might make it easier for you. Like if you hold a party that's worth 3 points, right? So you would put C in 3 circles.
Right.
Ah. Instead of coloring it in, you'd put that letter C.
In 3 circles.
That's what Trudy was saying, but because you get 3 points for that,
You get
You
3
know.
circles.
I would put the number of points you get, so then you can add up your total points at the end. That's what I would do.
Yep.
So you get.
I mean, if that works for you, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what it says on the sheet.
you get 1 point for 3 parties.
No, you
No.
get 3 points for
For
both.
holding a
Look at
party.
letter C.
Oh.
Yep, holding a party is 3 points.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that too, Sheila. I suggested putting the letter in 3 circles, like C in 3 circles, so then you know where your IPAs are coming from versus just having the number of IPAs you did.
I see. Okay.
True, yeah, because you know, at the end of the week or the end of the month, you won't remember what you did for IPAs.
You could always put C-3 if you wanted to
You
track the
could do
points
that.
and the
Mhm.
activity.
You could do that, yeah.
Cause isn't it the end result? You wanna know how many points you got for the month, basically?
Well, you want to do it week by week. Because week 1, it's saying if you get 5 points in the week, you have it's a side hustle for you.
Right.
If you have 10 points, you're a full-time consultant. If you have 15, that means you're on track for leadership.
To be in a leadership position. Okay,
So
great question.
how do you know, like, week 1, you have 3 sets of circles, and you have the meeting, you put it in week 1? At the beginning, under the side hustle.
Yeah, so-
consultant?
So like, next week will be August 3rd.
Uh-huh,
So that, and when you come to the meeting August 3rd, then you'll put that right away, week 1. That starts your week 1.
okay.
Actually, August 2nd is starting the week. Yeah. Cause like our weekly accomplishment sheets, they all start Sunday and they end Saturday. So our week
Oh.
will start August 2nd. So right now we're in week 4 for July.
Correct.
Okay.
And we actually kind of end on August 1st in a way.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, any other questions? Stop recording? You know.
Thanks
You do
for
this.
being here.
Yes, thanks for being on.
Oops. I'll stop the
Thank you,
recording.
ladies.